And I am not wanted here. Well, I walk the same roads you do, and you do.
Alright guys, so I had this hammerhead. I had picked it up, a friend had given it to me. They were going to just throw it away because the handle broke on it, just like this here. Alright guys, so the piece I came up with was 14 inches long. Luckily I have a 14-inch bandsaw, so I was literally riding right up against the metal that holds the blade inside of it. I guess the metal arm, you could call it. I chose the end piece of it, because it has this, so this will be up towards the top. That won't matter. Same with the rough cut on the side. You know, I'm not going to trim that up because that will come off when I shape the handle. And then I'm going to use this Stanley hammer because it feels good in my hands, and I just like the way it feels in my hands, so I'm going to use that as a model, and I'm going to just line the butt up down here with the end of it. That will give me a little bit here to overhang to trim off later. And it's when you're tracing something you like that's round, it's hard to keep the pencil from sinking under too far. And then that's going to make your material thinner than what you actually want it to be like. Where if you just give it a slight, with this pencil especially, just a slight curve on it, or angle on it, you'll actually get it dead in line with the edge here instead of going like this, because then it's going to be fatter, because you have, you know, a 1/16 or however far from the actual point of where the pencil lead is touching the wood. So then it'll be too fat. So you just kind of have to eyeball that angle and just start out with a little line and then look. And it's easier to use pencil. People like using pens and stuff like that. But then you get too many lines on there. This you can erase or, you know, easily sand off. The ink, it bends itself into the wood a little bit, and it's kind of a pain to sand off. So pencil's a lot easier to manage and get the right rough dimensions. So there, I hope you guys can see my rough outline of this handle, and that's the side profile of it. So next we'll want to do the top profile. So that's kind of the rough shape of it. This might not be as Jurassic, especially when we sand that down. But that will give us the basics of what we need. And we'll go cut that out on the bandsaw. Okay guys, so I cut out the shape of the side profile. And then you have to remember you're going to cut off of this part. So you're going to lay this back on top and then tape it. So what I had done, guys, is I actually taped the top and bottom. I forgot to mention that another part. That way it's nice and flat and square and not wobbly, so you can get that cut out correctly. So I got the side profile cut out and the top profile. And then I decided to go over to the drill press and use a Forstner bit and cut this out here. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, so I'm just going to have to sand that away and kind of work it with the sander instead of doing it the way I thought it was going to work. So I'm going to take the hammer head itself over to the vise and pound out the wood that's in it so that I can fit it correctly to the handle. Okay guys, so what I did was I took it over to the sander and I sanded in on all the edges here. I also smoothed out the corners and the bottom, and yeah, it may look funky, but also keep in mind this is made for my hand and my hand only, and it feels great. And you can see how my pinky wraps around into this bigger notch here, and this nice fat palm area just fits the grip of my hand just nicely. So when I'm hammering nails or doing things like that, it's comfortable, and every time I pick it up it just falls right into place. So you have to keep that in mind when you make something. I just dropped my mallet. When you make something like this, you know, if you're making it for yourself and nobody else is really going to touch it, it'll be able to be used by somebody else. But if you're going to be the one using it the majority of the time, then make it fit your hand and what feels good to you. If you're a little more picky and you want to just go for something more like a traditional handle for a hammer, then go for that if that's what you want. But I like something that's going to fit my hand and be comfortable as well. Alright guys, so I seated the head. That's only on your own preference. I did not put a wedge, or you know, like traditional wedge where you cut a thing down the center and then put a wedge in. I tapered the piece that's connected to this and then wedged on the sides, all four sides, and that seems to work better for me. And plus, you know, I can never cut that line perfectly straight, and it always closes up on me, so that works out a lot better for me, and it holds up just as well. And then I sanded it, or I cut it, and then I sanded it nice and smooth. You can see it sitting nicely on that edge there, and here's the handle. And so I'm going to get ready to stain or finish the handle, and I like to use True Oil. It is for gun stocks. It's a gun stock finishing oil, but I like it all on my tools and stuff like that. It just makes them a little bit better. I think it really makes them last a lot longer, and it makes them look nice as well too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you the finished. Alright, here we go guys. It's finished. I put one coat of the True Oil on there, and then I sprayed 2 coats of lacquer, sanded in between each coat because it raises the grain. And it's finished now. It's ready to, you know, hit stuff and pry stuff out. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.